What am I done? Yo. What's going on? What's going on? Got to slide the lights on in the back. Think I did. Yo. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Let me make sure we are all clean. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Chat box up there. Should be good. Okay. Yo. What's up, Mark? Mark here. Happy Friday. Y'all already know. Um, I do this on Fridays. Um, I don't know about y'all, you know, and shout out to everybody who's ever in here. I know everybody takes their time. I ain't a huge YouTuber, but this week's chapter, a lot of people liked it. I didn't dislike it. I just didn't think it had a lot to talk about. Um, that's why like this stream is not gonna be super long because it wasn't a lot to talk about. Like it kind of was like straight to the point, right? Like there is like one big thing I do want to talk about, which was the Gus thing and bomb conversation with Arlen. But as far as what happened, it's pretty much straightforward. It's like most we could do is make predictions about what we think is gonna happen next. But um, we can, and there's another thing I guess I can cover. So before we get to the comments, the manifestation thing, right? A lot of people were saying that what do we want to call it? The V inside bomb, which sounds so crazy. The V inside bomb was like the outside god, taking the identity of V, not actually the actual V. I'm here to fight back on that, okay? I'm actually here to fight back on that manifestation outside God stuff, okay? One reason why I'm fighting back on it is because he sounded exactly like V, okay? That guy sounded exactly like V. Whoever that is inside a bomb sounded like V. What did he say? Slap me. Give me a good old slap to wake me up. I'm falling asleep. It's kind of like, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of if you guys have ever seen Shrek. Maybe you might be too young. Maybe I'm too old. But if you ever seen Shrek, right? When Shrek came out, Shrek was so lit because we got to see fairy tales in the way we never seen them before. So, like for example, if you know about Shrek, you know there's like Cinderella, Snow White, the gingerbread man, like fairy tale stories that you grew up hearing from your parents or school or whatever. And so it put this funny spin on them that we've never seen before. Like the gingerbread man, it's like, oh, don't eat me, like like making jokes about it and shit, like, oh no, my legs and shit like that. That shit is hilarious, like to a young a young kid, or even like a preteen going into teenagers. That shit is funny. So that's what V did for me this chapter. He's kind of like, oh no, I'm falling asleep. I'm falling asleep. Slap me. Like that shit was funny as shit to me. I'm like, yo, there is no way this is some outside guy. Like that is V. Like the V that we met when he was young. Like he's giving me that vibe. Like bro, all jokes talking about like, yo, yeah, give me a good slap so I don't fall asleep. Like, come on, bro. What kind of serious guy? Like, no, and I can see why y'all might have thought it was a serious God, because like he did like kind of speak in a way, but it was kind of like in a trolling way, right? It like almost trolling way. It's like the way I see it. He spoke like this to Enkidu. I am the one. I am the V inside of bomb. I am the promised one. To I'm the promised one that's meant to walk the tower. They call me V, the God, the strongest one. Like fun, like on some funny shit. But then he's like, oh no, I'm falling asleep. Yo, slap me. No, seriously, slap me. Like that's how I took it when I watched it. I mean, when I read it. So I'm like, yeah, bro, that's V. Like, and it, I like it. I like it only because if it's V and he seems to have retained some of his personality inside of being inside a bomb, so it's kind of gotta be like his soul if it's spitting out his personality, which like I like it, like I like V's character, but I don't know what that means for Bomb, right? Because obviously I don't want Bomb to merge with the man and become somebody else. But I do like V's like sense of humor, his character. So there are things I don't like about him that I've mentioned before, but I like that. So yeah, I think that is V or V Soul. I'm about 70-30 with it now. No, I'm probably 80-20 with it. Like 80% that's V Soul and that's V. 20% it could be something else. But yeah, that one line was pretty convincing. Like the manifestation of some god. Yeah, I see how when he talked originally, but now that he's still over here talking about yeah, slap me. Like come on, bro. So yeah, we know that Valhalla body Prometheus, which wasn't like really shocking. Like Prometheus is a giant stone, that came out of the Gustang's library. And there's no comparison in strength. Like some people were tripping, like, oh, Prometheus was nothing. Well, Valhalla is damn near like family hit level, bro. So like, um, Prometheus getting body. Why is anybody surprised by that? Like it's just a big slab of stone that pours fire. I'm pretty sure Gustan got some more killer shit inside of his books, but it was like a convenient tool, pretty much it. So Valhalla is gonna probably catch up with Bomb, which is gonna be interesting because I wonder how Bomb reacts to seeing something like that. I wonder if he'll be able to like really see what Valhalla is, like what it really is. I wonder if he even gets ensnared by it. Like I wonder if like the lust factor, which affected Gustang even a little bit for a few seconds, it may be more deadly to Bomb. Like it may absolutely ensnare him. I actually can see a scenario right now where Valhalla with the wings and how they kind of like have it's kind of like a big like umbrella. I wonder if Valhalla snatches up Bomb and confuses him and kind of like ensnares him or whatever and takes him away. And Gustang's gonna have to like really get dig into Valhalla, but it's gonna be like it could turn into a situation where like Valhalla snatches a bomb and Gustang is fighting to like retrieve him, um, or because obviously like despite the chapter where it sounded like, and I said this in the comment section, it felt like Gusting was testing Bomb. Like the way he spoke to him, it was absolutely testing Bomb. Like, oh, like, well, if you don't like this result, like, then come change it. Like, and you don't like my decision, then come change it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, little man, like, what are you talking about? I don't gotta listen to you. Come change my result. And so I wonder how Bomb reacts to that. Like, I know Bomb's going to first thing he's probably gonna say is, I know I'm no match for the family heads, but I can't just let this happen. Like I can't just let this happen. So, but in the middle of him like maybe powering up, maybe popping a couple of the thorns, um Valhalla arrives and Valhalla kind of like dives into him, um or dives into Gustang. Excuse me. Just woke up 3 minutes ago, but dives into Gustang and it causes like, what can I say? It causes like a situation where Gustang is like fiending off or fending off Valhalla, and Tron may like stop in front of Bomb and say, "All right, like I'm gonna catch you now, and you're gonna become like my new family head." Um, it's gonna be a little weird. Like I wonder, like if Bomb can get away, then Bomb can get away. But it's like okay, this like sequence that we're about to get with like Trom, Gustang, and Bomb, it's about to create a situation where um may have to pick a side, like which is gonna be a little like it's gonna be a little weird. because it's like, okay, is he gonna just back down the Gus thing and say, okay, I'm not all right, Gus, I don't want to fight you, or is like Tron gonna land in front of him and like, look, if you want to go get my piece back, then I'm gonna let you go get it for me. Like, it can turn into that, and I'm not actually sure. So I guess we'll see. You know, I don't have too many crazy predictions about it. Um, yeah, I don't have too many crazy predictions about it. It can go either way, to be honest. So yeah. All right. So what I really wanted to talk about, right? What I really wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about what Gus Dang said to Bomb and what we think that was. Okay. Because you know what's interesting, and excuse me, I'm gonna take a pop of juice here. You know what's really interesting? About 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? I got into a little debate on Facebook with the owner of the Tower of God group, right? Because he brought up something old that happened in the blog post, and I don't know who or what you guys, any of you guys remember this for if it happened or whatever. Um, oh wait, it seemed it's since kind. You mean I don't know if you mean it seems, but since kind of cheap to put V in the bomb. It depends what comes from it, Salomon. I'm gonna be honest. Like it like because nobody really hated the Naruto way, like how Bomb, I mean Bomb, Naruto met Minato inside of him. Pause. That sounds so crazy, but how he met like the manifestation of his father inside of him, like that wasn't like a bad way for him to meet his dad, right? Because he came when he needed him. Yo, that sounds so crazy. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Um, but for Bomb to meet his father, like in the void, in the space, in like inside of him, then that's, I don't hate that. It just depends. Like, if V is there to take over his Bomb's body, that's different. That is different because you know what? You know what? It literally could be the same, not the same thing as Naruto. V that because okay, Bomb knows that he has that power within him, right? He knows it exists. And that absolutely positively could be Bomb's power. V could absolutely be safeguarding his power for him, so like it doesn't create like make like what like so picture this, right? You know that in Naruto, Minato was like stopping Kurama from taking over Naruto's body, right? Whatever the power that's within Bomb, what if that power that's within Bomb is the outside God's power and V may be in there safeguarding it? Like that could be that, right? It could absolutely be that. Because I'm sorry, I felt like V was trolling this chapter when he was speaking. Like it didn't seem like bro was serious. Like I'm sorry. It like in the first part, he might have really convinced us that like, yo, I'm the one that's promised to walk the tower. But he could have been in there trolling like, nah, I'm in here just safeguarding Bomb actual power. But yo, slap me again. Like slap me again. Like yo, like it could be something like that. Um I haven't thought about it just now, but so I don't actually hate that. Like because what most people are scared of is V trying to take over Bomb's body. Now, I think that's a more entertaining way to go, and it's a more sinister way, and it shows Bomb's parents in a crazier light, right? I think that's more plot twisty, more deep, and I like a lot of people that people go for stuff like that, and so do I. But I also don't hate the thought of like V being placed inside a bomb pause to like protect him against like the outside God's power, which could take over Bomb's body, which could be that. Like V could literally be in there like guarding it from taking over his son's body. Like I I don't think that's a bad idea. It is taken right from Naruto, right? But yeah, so that's just a response to Solomon's comment. Now back to what I originally wanted to talk about. Okay, so as I was saying, I got into an argument, not an argument, but a debate on Facebook about somebody about we talked about what did Blossom do to cry like that 2 chapters ago when she cried to Gustang. What did she do? Okay, she said I killed them all, and she was crying like hysterically into her like pillow or whatever in like a depression state, right? And Gustang couldn't punish her. What did she do? So the guy I was talking to, he runs the Tower God Facebook group, and he said that there's a blog post which I've never seen, that kind of talked about the leader of the what the hell is Blossom's family name? I'm sorry. The yeah, irrelevant family heads. Their names always escape. I can't ever think of them at the top of my head. Eurasia. I didn't even have to look it up. Eurasia. So he said that in the blog post, it said that the Eurasia family head, she killed an entire floor by accident. An entire floor by accident. Alle- Allegedly, she killed by accident. Which I haven't read many blog posts. I've only seen bits and pieces that people have posted, but I've never sat and read them like what a lot of people have. So allegedly, she murked an entire floor by accident, which to me sounds absolutely fucking insane. Murking an entire floor by accident is crazy. I can't even compute that. Like, how do you murk an entire floor by accident, bro? Like, no. Like, what kind of power does she wield that? Okay. So in my head, I'm trying to think of a scenario where how that could happen, because that means that you're trying a new power, or you're trying something new that didn't work. So I'm thinking like, what about after Revolution, that like she had like this one shot ability after Revolution, and there was a scenario where she like kind of popped it, and it kind of just what he said was it increased the Shinsu density on the floor, which killed all the inhabitants on the floor. Excuse me. And I can't be saying kill on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. It unalived everybody on the floor. She increased the Shinsu density of the floor, and it unalived everybody on the floor. Which is like how do you do that? Like, how do you, first of all, how do you increase Shinsu density of an entire floor? And then everybody gets like, I can't even understand that. You know, the only thing close to that I can, because and one, we don't know how her power works. We don't know what she can do. We don't know what Blossom can do. So that's a big part of it, obviously. But the closest thing to that made me think about it was Hannah, or Yi Rang. I might be the only person still calling her Hannah. But the Yeon family head, where in when she was in Trom's mothership, and she said she kind of spread her fragrance or whatever of her body within the mothership, and so they couldn't really track Amwee's because she like spread it throughout the ship. Like, that was like a really cool thing that like I've never thought about, never computed, but that's what she did, right? So I thought about that. I thought about, okay, what if she like spread that shit throughout the floor, like increase the heat of it, because if you increase the heat, it would kind of like, if she increased the heat of it, and she can spread out like her particles of her body, and she like did it like on a grand scale, that she could possibly do something like that on the floor. I could parts of that make sense to me in my head. But what she did, what Blossom did to murk an entire floor, I don't know. Like, did she like fall asleep while, did she murk everybody while they was asleep type shit? Like, what did she do? So I kind of push back on it because one, we know that blog posts have been retconned a lot this season, a lot. So there's no telling if that actually. There's like no way to really tell what's happening. What's up, Goat? Yeah, there's no telling it to know if that really happened. Two, I said that there's really no evidence to support that. Like we haven't seen anything in the story that references a great like killing, like nothing like that. Like I understand that was during their climb, so most of those people who would have seen that or have all passed, or most of the people that were climbing with them would that have seen that would have passed. But what I'm saying is, throughout like bits and pieces through history in Tower of God, we have significant events that like we know about, that people know about. The Great Zahard War and like the Hidden Grove people. Like there are like significant events in time that happen. So to me, it sounds really insane that nobody, at least the people that were climbing with the family heads, didn't tell their descendants and stuff like that Blossom or a family head accidentally murked an entire floor. Like that is crazy. Like I don't know if we compute in that. That is crazy to accidentally murk an entire floor. So for that to not get passed on, come on, bro. Like that's a feat that I've not heard of yet. Like that's a feat, that's a massive feat that I've never heard of. So I'm saying that to say it's possible because the way that Blossom talks when she's crying to Gustang is that, well, well, she did say I killed them all. She did say I killed them all. Now it could be a small village or a city or something like that, but she did say I killed them all, Gustang. I killed them all. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I killed them all. So that kind of that can be put into different contexts that she might have murked an entire floor by accident, and that's some wild shit. That's if she did that, that's some wild shit, and I can see why she's depressed and crying into a pillow. And I could absolutely see why Gustang wouldn't want to punish her. Like that's some massive guilt, bro. Like that's like literally, that is literally like dropping a nuke, which we've seen in real life. Okay, that's like dropping a nuke. That's like generational damage type shit, right? Um. So I was saying that to say, this chapter we saw Gustang tell Bomb, "How about you try and stop me? Because what you think I'm doing is foolish. Since you think I'm doing a foolish thing, try and stop me." And I have the picture. I'm gonna add it in real quick. That's not it. I have the picture of what Gustang said exactly, but I'm gonna have to edit it real quick so I don't get Let me make some adjustments on it real quick so I don't get blasted up off here for copyright. For copyright. What's blending mode? I don't want to get blasted over here for copyright. We don't want that. Oh, I thought I had the quote. I don't actually have the quote. I just have the picture and the screenshot. But y'all know what I mean. In this picture right here, right? Gustang tells Bomb basically like, if you think I'm doing something foolish, then try and stop me, like kind of like your mom did, right? So what it made me think of is that I can see a scenario where Blossom may have approached Gustang on his own before the war started between the Grace people and Zahar. I can see a scenario where she appealed to Gustang, or maybe this might have been during a turning point where Gustang made the decision to follow Zahar, but it could be somewhere in between, right? Where she tells Gustang, "Hey, You're supposed to be the guy that holds everybody accountable. Why are you not holding everybody accountable? What are you doing? Why are you letting things transpire? Why are you letting Zahara do what he wants? You're supposed to be the guy who pulls out the Oakbee and smacks him on the head. And I get what Blossom did, but bro, you gotta like I get it. Like that's your lover, and you don't want to punish her. But now you letting everybody do what they want. Now you letting everybody do what they want, because that's exactly what Gustang did. He says it. He started to feel the guilt of it and the weight of his job, and like he couldn't do it anymore. He basically couldn't do it. And it's I said this a couple weeks ago. It's about integrity. It's that one. I'm telling you guys. It's always in real life. This is a real life thing. If this is some real life advice, it only takes one time for you to fold before you think about folding every other time. Because what you do naturally is if you tell yourself, I'm going to go to the gym 4 times a week, that 1 week that you go for three is when it starts to go downhill. I'm telling you, I've watched it happen. It's happened to me. I've done it myself. I still go to the gym consistently, but I'm saying, and that's because I went through a period where I was going consistently and then I stopped. I started going slowly and then I stopped. And now I'm at a point where I go consistently again. But I'm saying it's about integrity. So Gustang letting Blossom slip is like, okay, if I let Blossom slip, I gotta let Zahara slip one time. I gotta let Trom slip one time. He started letting people slip. And that's a real life thing. You start slipping and then everybody's doing what they want. Which is just to make it turn it back to the gym. You missed that one day that you were supposed to go for 4 times, unless you was sick or something. You gonna start going three. Eventually, if you don't pick it back up and realize what you're doing, you gonna start going back two, and it's gonna be one day a week, and it's not gonna be nearly the same. You're not gonna get nearly the value you was getting when you was doing it 4 times. But I'm saying that to say, Gustang let Blossom slide. He said it. He couldn't punish her. That's the weird thing about being the guy that it's kind of like being a cop and arresting a family member. It's like that weird place. Like, bro, like I gotta lock up my cousin. Like I gotta arrest my wife. Like or I gotta arrest my child. Like that shit is hard. You can't do that, and you're not supposed to make big business with pleasure type shit. Like so. Hold on, go. Hey, man. Hey, man. Don't be talking about my man. Look, he's human. Okay, that was a very human thing he did. So he could be a little. He could make a bad decision. Okay, he could make a bad decision. Let my boy live. All right. But nah, like seriously, that's kind of what happened. So I can imagine a scenario where Blossom came up to Gustang and said, "Hey, why are you letting everybody get away with little dumb shit? You weren't like this before. Like you were holding us accountable. You're letting shit get so out of hand that Zahard's doing this. Trom's reanimating people, which is like a grave thing to do that he shouldn't be doing. This taboo. Why are you allowing this to happen?" And Gustang probably got frustrated because a lot of people, in real life, I'm pretty sure you all have seen this. People have a hard time taking accountability for their actions, especially when they think that they're perfectionists. If you think that you're really good at something, right? And it's like a service, right? So let's just say, right? Uh, let's say, let's say me for example, right? I do YouTube videos for Tower of God, right? And I'm supposed to drop videos every week about Tower of God reviews. If I just didn't say anything to y'all, like, hey, I'm not dropping this week. If I just stopped dropping like for 2 weeks and I didn't say nothing to y'all, and then people are messaging me like, hey, where's the video? You're supposed to be dropping the video, and I get mad. Well, yeah, like I'm gonna get mad because it's just like, well, motherfucker, like I always drop videos, but you didn't drop one this week. Well, so what? I didn't drop one this week. Like, all right, like y'all be okay. Like, damn, I didn't drop one this week. So what? But that would piss me off because like obviously I'm used to doing it and I got to be held accountable for not doing it because I decided to do that. for my community and for my subscribers to drop Tower of God videos. So it's the same thing with Gustang. Like, bro, V gave you a job, and he trusted you to hold everybody accountable because you know it's not about what V asked him to do. It's that we can make really bad decisions. All of us, including myself, we can make bad decisions. So you are supposed to be the guy. And we understand it's an unfair job. It's a tough job. But it's a job that you took on. You said that you could do it. So do it. And so I can see Arlen like, bro, what are you doing? You supposed to be the guy. Why aren't you being the guy? And Gustang probably like, look, so the fuck what? I don't know. I'm not doing it right now. And that's kind of how Gustang probably fell into Zahard's side. To be honest, that's probably exactly how how Gustang fell into Zahard's side. He stopped holding them accountable for their actions, and then he started to kind of fall in line instead of being like objective. And and you can probably blame a lot of that on Blossom. Probably that is on Blossom. You necessarily can't blame the woman for it, but I'm saying the mindset changes because he fell in like love and married Blossom. So like, yeah, that's kind of where I can see Arlen being like, okay, Gustang, like you changed. Like, okay, you not the Gustang that used to be. You used to hold us accountable for shit. So he probably got pissed off and said, "Oh, you think this is foolish? So you think I'm making a bad decision? Fuck, fuck you, Arlen. Okay, fuck you and V. All right, I ain't even want this job. I ain't even want this job. You and this job. Okay, I don't need this." That's exactly what happened. I got Blossom. Okay, like, is Blossom's family artificially made too? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that's true. Um, because we see young Eurasia family members throughout Bomb's journey. We see young people who are in the Eurasia family. Um, Weird thing that I noticed, I forget, like I should have mentioned this ages ago, but we don't see do we see any young Poe Beat Out members? Not really. We don't really see any young Poe Beat Out members that were climbing the tower. Y'all let me know if y'all remember any young Poe Beat Out members that were climbing the tower that we may have seen. And I get it. We don't get to see. We haven't seen every single family like have like kids or younger people climb the tower. But I'm saying, out of the ones that we know exist and that are prominent within the story right now, so that would be Lobo Pia family, that would be Coon family, that would be Ha family. We've seen many of them throughout the series since the beginning. Watch people climb the tower within these families. We've not really seen any Poe Beat Out family members climb. So no, I think Blossom's family is probably real. I do think Blossom's family is probably real. Now that's weird because who did she have kids with? Well, she had to have the only kid that we know about is Gustang. So where the fuck does the rest of Blossom's family come from, right? It's a question. It's a question. It's one that maybe CU hasn't figured out yet. I can imagine one of those things he hasn't figured out yet. But it's definitely a good question. Like but we've never that's one family we haven't seen. But we have seen Eurasia family members. We've seen plenty of people falling asleep or being sleepy throughout Bomb's journey. So that's just something I guess we'll find out later on, right? You think it was a mistake on CU's part that Enkidu didn't recognize V? Mm. So this is what I was saying in the review, right? It's 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 a weird thing. Go like it's hard to answer that question. One because Belier and Kidu, Belier and Kidu, they are one being. So sometimes it seems like it's Belier talking, and then sometimes it seems like it's Enkidu talking. So I don't know. Because right, the end of this chapter, right? That's not Enkidu talking to to Gustang. That's Belair talking. And you know what? Did Gustang even notice that Belair and Enkidu are mixed? Did he even peep that? I don't even know if he acknowledged that. But that's what I'm saying though. It gets a little funny when you do something like that, you know. So I don't necessarily know. Like it could be like, well, Enkidu has said that his mind has been overpowered by Beliers and that he could necessarily take over his body. So it could just be like I don't remember this guy. Also, I said in the review, it's possible that Enkidu don't know who V is. Like the most like it's extremely possible that he doesn't know who he is. All we know is that the connection between Enkidu and V that we know about is that Enkidu is the one who said um he's the one who said that or was it Trom? Was it Trom that said it? That V was the one that murdered Amwise. Trom said that. It didn't necessarily come from Enkidu. But I don't I can kind of see a place where there's no reason for Enkidu to know who V is because at the time that Enkidu was given the Trom, the Grace people were beefing with Trom and them. The Grace people were beefing with Trom and them. Okay? So Enkidu may not know who Arlen and V is. I don't like the knowledge that Enkidu has. Nothing about the knowledge that was imprinted in him says that it acknowledged like the irregulars. Like we know that Trom has friends that he has, right? Which is the Eduin and Yirang and them, right? And he's been introduced to them, but the Grace people weren't necessarily friends with him, friends with Trom at that time. So there's no real reason for him to know about them. You see what I'm saying? It can be you can stretch that he doesn't necessarily know about them. He may have heard the name V, but to say he doesn't really know the name, I can't really say that he should know them, right? Um, I can't recall go Poe beat out kids either. Yeah, there are no Poe beat out kids. The whole family's manufactured. Um, Gus thing doesn't really lay pipes, so we don't see. Yo, stop coming at my boy. I see you dissing my boy. Hot girl sounds irresponsible when it comes. I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean by hot girl? Anyway, um, Sue has to give a crazy excuse about Yurin's high relationship with all the men she was with and what happened to them. Is it Yurin or is it Yi Rang? Are you talking about Yurin? How she doesn't take it like? Are you talking about how Yurin was like never taking anybody? I thought it was Yi Rang who was like never who was against men. That was the original version. She was against men. I don't know if that wasn't Urine. Urine does have something funny with men too, though, right? Didn't she like have somebody she fell in love with that she was actually with, and once they broke up, they wasn't together. Like she doesn't mess with men anymore. I think that's Urine, right? I think that was Urine. But just to cap off what I was talking about before, so Arlen, I can see her coming to Gustang, trying to appeal to Gustang, like, hey, you're not doing your job, right? And Gustang probably got pissed off because he know he's not doing his job. Gustang's one of those people who will blame other people. I will say that's one of Gustang's flaw. He goes around the problem and he would blame he probably would blame what everybody else is doing and say that well, no. He probably just couldn't take accountability for it. For not holding Zahar's feet to the fire, for not allowing Trom to do necromancy, for just letting shit get out of hand. Now, there's things to be said. Gustang can absolutely not be blamed for everything. That's an unfair thing to say or do. Put all the pressure on this one guy when people start acting crazy is not fair. That's not fair. Okay, because he's not a fucking god. Like that is unfair. If anybody was to support him while he was doing it, it would be Blossom. And she probably did, to be real with you. Blossom probably did support Gus Dang punishing the family heads for doing dumb shit. But once she committed a sin herself, that shit was like, well, this is awkward. Let's look. This is awkward. Like I can't do this. I can't punish her, and she did it on accident. So yeah, that's what I think that Gus Dang meant when he's telling mom like, look, your mom thought it was foolish too, and I told her to try and stop me. Well, if you don't like what I'm doing, stop me. Make me change back to what I was doing. So, problem with Gus Dang, who would punish him? That's what I'm saying, Daniel. The one who would probably punish um, Gus Dang would probably be Blossom. Blossom was probably the one who would hold him accountable. Like, hey, don't let them do that. Like, because women usually are very supportive of their mates in their jobs. To make sure they're on point. Like that's one thing that women are really good at. They're very good at supporting you at things that you want to accomplish. Um, so I can imagine when Blossom, who was probably supporting him, couldn't support him anymore, and he had to punish her. It's different. It's different, you know. So, yeah, that's mainly what I wanted to talk about with that. Um, I think that's what happened with Blossom and what Arlen may have said to V. I mean, I said to Gustang. Y'all, I don't know what y'all may think. What did Arlen want from Gustang that made him like react like that to Bomb? Like, well, your mom thought I was foolish. I told her to change it. I love the way Gustang talks shit, bro. That's why I love Gustang. I love the way he talks shit. He really talks spicy. He said, "Okay, you don't like it? Change it. Make me change it. Okay, make me do it. What's up? You know." But I don't think they're gonna fight. Mm-mm. and Trom's in the middle of it too. So no. But it may be a scenario where Bomb temporarily aligns with Trom to go capture Belier. Like Bomb may straight up ask Trom, "Hey, I'll assist you. I'll go get your piece. I'll go get that piece back for Ann Dorsey if you allow me." Which favors Trom's side because then Gustang doesn't win the game. Love was a force that transcended these concepts and allowed individuals to act in a way that the way that was authentic and true to themselves. Correct. That's normally what it is. Okay. All right. So I think we've hit the period where I know I released a video late yesterday, instead of normal Wednesday. So we don't really have that many comments to go over. But again, I didn't have much to really, really, really. Um, I didn't have really much to really, really talk about this chapter. Again, a lot didn't happen. We got the little bit of V thing, which I talked about already, and then what Gustang said to Bomb, but everything else was pretty much straightforward. Like, and Dorsey's obviously not gonna die, even though I didn't expect Enkidu to actually like fuck her up like he did. But nobody's gonna actually die. Belier is getting away to go to the grand um, match place, which is that Coliseum shit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me get to the comments, see what y'all talking about. I am starving. I am absolutely hungry as hell. Excuse me. Okay. So the losses. So who loses the chess match, the admin will take away their immortality, right? I think so. I think so. There's no other rights that have been given to the family heads that allow them to do anything in particular that we haven't been introduced to. So we don't know if there are any other blessings that they have. If they and the only one that we know that they have is the administrator contract, which the is the immortality contract. So yeah, they probably become mortal. They probably become mortal beings, which is that's something to gamble. I will say that that is something to gamble. All right, comments. Let's pull them up. So we don't have a lot this week. We obviously don't have a lot this week. Okay. Gusting probably knew Poe beat out Belier and Kidu was merged together. His timing of coming back to see V just after Enkidu made contact with V is too suspicious. I don't know, Daniel. I have no real take on that. Gusting probably knew Poe beat out Belier and Kidu was merged together. I don't know. He didn't really acknowledge it. Like he tried to last time he saw Enkidu, he tried to murder him. So I thought there might have been something there, but there wasn't really anything. So I don't really know. Um, if he's got to know though, right? He's got to be able to sense it. But okay, so getting to this comment, right? So this is actually a comment I responded to because I just didn't understand what he was talking about, so I kind of had to like kind of get into it with him a little bit. Israel says about Bomb's claim. I don't know why you're surprised if Bomb has always been like this. He is someone who values human lives even more than his own. Throughout history, there has been plenty of examples of that. I have a response to that, but about Bomb versus Gustang, I don't think they are. Well, actually, let me address the first part. So I responded to this comment by saying, I did I seem surprised because I wasn't surprised by Bomb's nature. It's just that Bomb was basically filibustering to Gustang about why he needed to get Ann Dorsey's piece back. It's her piece. Let me get it back. Bro, who gives a fuck? Like I'm sorry, but like it was just like he was kind of filibustering. Like he was just like, well, he's like, if it's about her, I'll keep her alive. Well, but still, it's her piece. Like that's how he's talking. Like it's like, bro, like and like he can't get away with that. It's just like, well, Mom, you don't even know Gus Dang's plan. You don't know what he's trying to do. You don't know what Belier is trying to do. You know like what they've told you, but there's obviously a subplot to all of this. So for you to assume that Gus Dang's gonna take your side, it's just kind of like really like too gullible for me, and it's like the moral compass right now is just like not the place to be. Like oh you're gonna murk your whole family, Gus Dang, you're crazy. Like bro, I'm like it was just a little irritated, especially since we the audience know that the Pobidal family is mainly manufactured. It's a little irritating just to read Bomb talk about people that we know aren't real people. So um and then Israel says about Bomb versus Gustang. I don't think they're going to fight directly. In fact, they don't need it. Gustang is not interested in fighting with Bomb. Bomb doesn't need to fight with Gustang to stop his plan. He just needs to go directly against Belier and Rachel and entire Revolution crew, who are the ones who want families to destroy each other. Basically, Tiara's plan to defeat the group that is seeking the war is taking on more relevance, which I agree with, but Gustang would not have reacted like that. Okay, there is absolutely it's not about like a need. And I gave my response to that point because it's not about it has nothing to do with a need. It's not about what they need to do. It's what Gusting's. It's about what Gusting said to him. It's almost like he's testing him because that's what Gusting said. Gusting said, "If you don't like my choice, then change it. Do something about it." Which is a test. He's testing him. What other reason would Gusting mock him and challenge him? And even bringing up his mom was a way to goad him. Like, why would you bring up Arlen? Like, that's a way to goad him. And he's, in fact, does not need to get past Gusting here. He does need to get past Gusting here. But what? So yeah, he does. If Trom's not here, which we know Trom's here, Bomb absolutely positively needs to get past Gusting. He does. He absolutely does. He can't just get to Bel-Air and walk through Gusting. He has to get through Gusting. But we know that Trom and Valhalla exist. So what'll likely happen is that they'll interfere, and that Bomb will may be able to go after Bel-Air. But to say that there's no need, well, there absolutely is a need. Bomb has to get past him. It's just that what happens that'll allow him to pass him, right? And so Israel responded, which I didn't read yet, because I wrote this last night. But he said, um, he needs. Oh, sorry. There's a part of this you guys can't actually see. He needs to attack Bel-Air because that's the reason he allied himself with Tiara in the first place. Bomb knows that a group is looking for the two families to destroy each other, and he does not agree with that. What he did know was that Gusting himself. What he did not know was that Gusting himself was the one helping them. True, that last part is especially true. He did not know that Gusting was a part of it. However, yes, he needs to attack Bel-Air, but he does need to get past Gusting. You're skipping that part. He has to get past him. Okay, that's the only way he's gonna get to Bel-Air. But Trom is the one who's gonna step in. Gusting has made it clear he wants Bel-Air to go. He's not gonna just let Bomb stop him from going. So that's all. It's pretty cut and dry. There's no reason to go back and forth about this. I agree that Gusting's words were more of a test for Bomb, and I felt his anger was more based on the fact that he was reminded of things in the past. I agree, but that's what irritated him. And that's why he tells him to try and stop him, what his mother did, but in the end she failed. True, that's what I'm saying. It was a trigger. It was a trigger that had something to do with Bomb's bloodline. So Gusting got annoyed with him, like, okay, if you're gonna keep talking about this, how about you do it? That's all. So that's just my response. Thanks for the comment, though, Israel. So Loki. Loki says that sounds like V to me. And again, I said it, and I'm gonna say it again. That V inside of Bomb spoke like V. So I don't know about this manifestation God thing that people were going with, but I'm convinced this is him after this chapter, and I'm with you there. And Kidu not recognizing V makes sense to me. Where were they coming to? Where they? Okay, Loki is a little drunk. When they were coming to the party, Trom had to warn Enkidu not to anger them because he would die. That tells me that he did not have memories of these people. Otherwise, that was no reason for him to warn him. True, but he may not know them on that scope. He may just know of their existence, but not on that scope. Like, I imagine that because Trom did teach Enkidu about the tower, but I imagine he just mentioned to him that, hey, this is a family head, this is a family head, this is a family head. But the Grace people may have completely been skipped. That's all. So, and Dorsey getting smashed as Mark, I did say that. That was so crazy for me to say. Was bound to happen. She playing with big dogs. True. I'm glad that she got scraped. You cannot keep. I will give CU credit for this because he has held Coon, Rack, and Dorsey's feet to the fire. I will acknowledge this, and I'll say this. CU, thank you. Thank you for holding their feet to the fire, okay? Thank you. Because a big problem a lot of us has had, and it's to the point where a lot of us ignored it, is that Rack, Coon, and then Dorsey keep getting away with shit around high rankers, and it's a fucking problem, okay? They have kept getting around shit. And they should not be able to tussle. They should not be able to run. They should not be able to do anything. Belair isn't even a high ranker, but still. So with this, all three of them have been punished for being for being regulars. That's all I wanted, bro. That is all I wanted. They have to suffer consequences. Bomb cannot protect them from every high ranker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm at a happier place now, okay? I'm at a much happier place now. Because that was one of my biggest problems. Letting regulars run around when there are big dogs running around is bullshit. But they've all suffered their consequences for messing with high rankers. So thank you for that. I gotta cut this vent off real quick. This air is flowing in here. Got me cold. This one's on too. So, um, yeah, just thank you for holding them accountable. That's all, man. Yeah, I agree. Bomb caring about this feels forced. It's like you want to help Trom. I get that. Heroes always look for the third option, but sometimes sitting in the middle row does nothing but get you and your friend killed. For those of you whom play, I'm not sure what Kotar 2 is. Um, Treya said his best apathy is death. Darth Treya, um, I'm not sure what that is. Don't get yourself involved in other fights when you know nothing, when you don't know anything of their history. Agreed. Agreed. Um, Motivations are resolved. Follow this angst rhyme. Gusting I mentioned Bomb's mom without mentioning his dad, which is weird to me. Still, chapter was a solid 8. I give it. I didn't even give a chapter rating. Chapter was a 6.5 out of me. Well, it was cool. It just I didn't have enough to really. It was just straightforward. That's all. So 6.5. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't great. But yeah, that's pretty much it from Loki. Thank you, Loki, for always have a decent comment. Loki, you getting into I'll be real with you though. You getting into Lord of Speech range, okay? Keep these paragraphs up. You might be in Lord of Speech range. Here's the Lord of Speech right here, Daniel. So Daniel 637, chapter 637. It's understandable that Enkidu doesn't remember V when they've never met in person, but he's only heard V's name mentioned by others. True. That's what it basically. That's all I said in a nutshell. Very well put. Daniel has learned to put words in. He's learned to make bigger sentences, smaller and concise. Which I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. Because sometimes your wall text used to drive me a little crazy, but right to the point. That makes complete sense. When Bomb discovers that the Gustang family is fake, artificially created, he'll likely be stunned. Agreed. It seems that Gustang's plan is to push Bomb into even more stress and corner situations, building up his resentment and insults about his mother only add fuel to the fire. That's a good point. Increasing the chances of the awakening. That's a good point. I don't know if his goal may not be to like. I don't know if Gustang knows about the inside of Bomb. Blossom may have told him. So you know when Gustang met with Blossom temporarily when she was trying to escape the tower, Bomb could have been put in V could have been put in Bomb at that point. So maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't know. That's an interesting thing to think about. It's a very interesting thing to think about. But um yeah, it does add fuel to the fire, and Gustang does seem to be pushing Bomb into a direction. So I wonder what the goal for that is. The timing of Enkidu's contact with V seems suspicious. Loki said the same thing. Deliberate Gustang part coming in timing is quite suspicious. I didn't notice that, but you guys make a good point with that. I didn't notice that, but that kind of did happen that way. Personal, Bomb shouldn't push himself and let it go. Don't try to push his luck and use his head and ask Gusting nicely to heal Endorsey. I agree. Don't be talking to a family head like that, bro. Especially not Gus Gang. But a serious question remains: where is Julia, the princess candidate? She hasn't been confirmed dead yet. Who's Julia? There's a Poby Dog family member named Julia. And Randstad feel better. Appreciate it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't get I didn't get the review out early enough. So we don't have that many comments. And I didn't think this chapter had that much to talk about. So even when I drop a chapter a day ahead, I still get at least 10 comments. It's just I don't think people have much to talk about. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I really don't have that much else to cover, guys. I'm sorry, it's gonna probably be a short stream today. Um, Unless anybody else has anything else that they want to talk about. I'm probably just gonna get up off of here. Um, I'll give Seal his credit. The last like 6 or 7 chapters have been fantastic. Like I've enjoyed everything for like last 6 or 7 chapters. Like since we crossed into like the 630 range, shit has been good. Shit has been so good. Surprisingly good. So, I hope he continues this streak. Um, I know there's been a lot more Tower of God fans in general. Particularly, I know I've got a lot of new subscribers that are coming from the anime, which is the goal. Like, I'm glad that people like the anime. I personally think it's trash, and a lot of people in my community think it's trash. I was arguing with some people on Facebook in the Facebook Tower of God group about how trash it is, and some people think it's good. I said, I'll tell you again, if you think Tower of God's anime is good, you accept mediocrity. All right, I'm sorry, but I just don't think it's that good, personally. So I haven't watched it since episode 3. I haven't seen Urex fights or anything like that. I haven't watched any of that shit. I just got turned off too badly, bro. I couldn't do it. The reviews that I did do on it, I suffered through it for you guys, but I did not enjoy it. So, but other than that, guys, I'm getting up off here. There's not really much else to talk about with the chapter. I'm sorry that this is such a short stream. I can do 2 to 3 hours, but there wasn't really much to talk about. Everything that there was to talk about, I covered. So, um, I'll drop the Discord link in the community post again, for those who may not or may be looking to join. Other than that, chapter drops on Sunday. Please be getting the Discord. We love chatting about it on Sundays when it drops. We got some people that drop the raws, and then we got some people who consistently drop the chapter right around 6 or 7 o'clock on Sunday when it's usually translated. So other than that, guys, have a good week. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Thank you again for subscribing and enjoying the channel. I'll see you soon. Peace.